Too many cards!
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 12. Remix! Thank you. That was good. This is a second opinion episode of 12. We'll be uploading it and everything, as usual. But joining me is Rishard Burrell.
Hello.
Because previously Ryan joined me only. And we greatly missed you, Rishard, and we wanted to hear, well at least I wanted to hear, how you felt about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you embracing the holidays as far as Christmas goes? You got your tree up and everything?
Yep, got the usual tree, the same tree we had for like 100 years, basically since I was born. It's still hanging in there though, still just as pretty. Got the couple of gifts, the early gifts already underneath the tree. Well, I don't know if they're so much as early. I guess they're on time. So, got the Frank Sinatra playing when I'm gaming and stuff now, so I'm getting myself in the mood. Christmas is my favorite time of year, so
Perpetual Sinatra is the best kind of Sinatra. It really is, dude.
It is.
What'd you get your mommy?
She just recently got into like juicing, like or blending, making smoothies instead of meals, you know.
So you got her some steroids.
That's not usually the route I would go with normal people. So.
Well, you said juicing. Are you trying to get your mother hella jacked?
So swole.
Say swole in a French accent.
Swell.
Perfect.
No, it's this recipe book. It has like tons of different recipes for blending recipes, like mix this fruit with that fruit and that juice.
I'm mad you automatically assume your mother's going to be in the kitchen to do all this shit.
I didn't really have the sexist joke attached to that, but it kind of naturally happened. Oh god.
Well, that's all cool. If you could only take one thing with you to an island, what would it be? Okay, and you can pick whatever you want, whatever type. You can assume that like cereal is going to go with milk, or that a video game is going to continue to get expansions and DLC and that kind of thing. So, which cereal would it be?
I don't know, because I get tired of every cereal I've ever eaten. But if I'm going to be on an island, how long am I going to be on this island?
You're going to be on this island for about 16 weeks.
Is there any food if I don't take cereal?
Let's assume cereal is the only breakfast food you have.
Only breakfast food.
So it's like cereal, turtle for lunch, and coconut and stingray for dinner.
Well, since I'm going to be eating crap anyway, and I normally don't eat breakfast, I guess I'll take like a video game, so I won't go insane from boredom.
What? Pick a cereal.
Oh wait, no. Why would I pick a cereal?
You have to pick a cereal.
Why do I?
Is it Captain Crunch? Is it generic Crunch?
I'll take Captain Crunch with berries.
You're only saying that because I said it.
No, because that's the only, like, right now in my life I haven't had Captain Crunch in a long time, so it sounds the most appetizing.
It's like Captain appetizing. All right, what video game?
Probably the Metal Gear HD collection, since it's all one disc and it's
but you
like
could play that
games.
over and over again?
I already have, and I still do. I have like a current gameplay on like all of them. So.
Oh. Well, what scent of Yankee Candle would you take?
The cinnamon one.
There's probably like 5 cinnamon ones.
There are. I don't know which one it is. I don't go to Yankee Candle often enough.
Handsome male actor.
This is hard purely because I'm straight.
I mean, me and Ryan had no problem with it. What are you trying to say?
Maybe you guys aren't so straight after all, Devin.
Me and Ryan get that a lot.
Bromance. I don't know. Handsome male actor. Let's see. I wish there was like a male version of Jennifer Lawrence.
What? No, you don't.
I do.
That's weird.
What? This question is weird. Why didn't you say female actor when they're all guy hosts? I don't understand.
All right, how about this? If you could take any female celebrity that can twerk, which one would it be? They have to be able to twerk.
Rihanna.
Have you seen Rihanna twerking?
Yes.
If you could describe that in an adjective that you would use for food, which one would it be? Her twerking ability. Hearthstone, a duelist discussion, a Mad Lib podcast.
Delicious. I know that's very like uncreative, but it is delicious.
It's also crude. You're such a guy.
You forced me in this situation. I don't care for twerking.
That's enough of that. So let's get into the patch. Lots of stuff happened. Talked about in a previous episode. So how do you feel about all of it that's going on? How do you feel about the Elite Tauren Chieftain card? Because you did buy BlizzCon virtual ticket and you did get it. Have you gotten a chance to play with him or play against him?
No, I haven't actually seen it in game yet. Because I think the only actual Hearthstone session where I played for a decent amount of time was when me and you were doing the metagame decks. So I haven't really. I have seen it in my my card collection and all that, but I haven't put it in the deck, and I haven't played against anyone that had it yet.
What about the revamped play modes, the casual, ranked, and arena? Have you played any of those?
No, but I heard the arena is like you can go up to 12 wins now, and at first I heard about the they give smaller amount of boxes, but they just put the same amount of stuff in 2 boxes and stuff, and instead of splitting it into 6 or however many it was before.
Yeah, it's much more consolidated.
I like that they changed unranked to casual. I like it. It's more fitting than unranked, because it's like, obviously if it's not ranked, it's unranked. It's just casual. I like that title better.
Yep. What's your rank now? Are you sitting at 25 or? What?
I've never played a ranked play mode match.
Oh, I see. I'm currently at 16 and 3 stars. Keep bouncing around there because I keep winning some, losing some.
25 is the highest currently, right?
Rather it's the lowest.
Yeah.
You're trying to work your way down, and then there's stars within each that you gain or lose. And you start to gain or lose stars about rank 16 or 17 or so. But until then, you can't go backwards. So.
Okay.
Yeah. At least with me, I don't know if that's a bug or whatever. But
rewards.
And the rewards for that ranked play is, those are not available until open beta, till everyone has a shot at getting them. And they've explicitly said that they want everyone to be able to experience that, which is good for them.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree on that point.
What's the farthest you've been in arena? How far have you been?
I think the best run I've ever had was 2 wins.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't play arena. Most of my play time is either unranked play mode or with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or just against bots, because I had recently got into the beta, so I was trying to unlock all the classes and all the basic cards.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about the card changes, like the Unleash the Hounds change, which is the hugest one by far?
I'm actually really happy that they did that, because that one-turn kill nonsense was just beyond like we talked about it before. It killed the like gameplay experience. And they said it themselves that it was allowing hunters to win on a single turn, starting with like no minions on the board. So yeah. I'm just happy that it changed.
Flame Imp and the Argent Commander and the Shattered Sun Cleric, those have been modified, but those modifications haven't addressed what the issue with those cards are.
My personal, at least for the Shattered Sun Cleric, I felt like the fact that she had 3 health at that level made her last 2 turns, which usually allowed her to put out 6 damage, which is a lot that at that point in the game if you play her at 3 mana. And now that she has 2 health, something smaller such as like one of the Murlocs that has 2 attack 1 health can just knock her out before she hits either you or one of your minions twice, because she can potentially either take out 2 cards or hit you and take out a card at 3 mana. And the fact that she's putting 4 attack and 4 health on the board for 3 mana is pretty. I mean, if you play with another card, of course, it can be pretty strong. And then she can make another card that's 2 health, have 3 health, and then that card does the same thing. It lives another turn that it normally wouldn't. So I don't know. That's just a personal issue I have with that card, so I'm happy to see that one health change. I didn't see the issue with the Flame Imp doing 2 damage, but they said it was to, I guess, adjust their power in early game.
Which doesn't really help.
Yeah.
The change is nothing.
Yeah.
If it had taken 4 if the Flame Imp's Battle Cry, it dealt 4 damage up from 2, that would have made a difference, because that 2 damage, in the grand scheme of things, that's 1 more life tap that they cannot do. Because the life tap's 2 damage, which brings us to the point where Warlocks, when you have cards that heal you, that essentially gives you more draw because you have more health to life tap from. You know what I mean? So the Flame Imp dealing only 3 damage, that doesn't really curb anything. If anything, that makes them a little more hesitant to play it. But if you're trying to wrestle for early game board control, you're gonna have a lot of health when this card's most ideal anyway. So it's not gonna matter. Warlock's still gonna play it. It doesn't change anything.
Exactly.
1 health. If you're fighting against a Warlock, them being 1 more health down than usual. Is not going to help you tame their board control, their aggressive play, if that's how they're playing.
It's not enough of a sacrifice, because if they're playing a deck, as a Warlock, you're expecting to sacrifice health no matter what. So that 1 health isn't really going to make much of a difference. Something else that I was happy to see change finally was Mind Control's mana cost.
Oh yeah, it's up to 10 now.
Going up to 10. Because, I don't know, I feel like 8 mana is too early. I kind of feel like 8 mana is too early for Pyroblast too. But
I feel like 8 mana for Mind Control. 10 mana for Mind Control is too late now.
Yeah.
Like Mind Control is just an afterthought.
It pretty much put the card out of the game, because it's like, usually by 10 mana, most games are pretty much decided anyway. At least from my experience. I don't know about...
Oh yeah, the game's decided usually between turns 3 and 6.
Yeah, it's like either you're delaying the inevitable, or like it's just you're a couple turns away from conceding or just being killed anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see Mind Control being played in Arena nearly as much, because it's just an afterthought. Like turn 10, and it's going to take all of your mana, and to the best of my knowledge, there's not a mechanic for priests that will allow them to play any earlier than that.
I feel like it should be 9, because
like
it's a removal spell, but all the cards that you would want to remove are already on the board by 10 mana. Well, most of the cards.
And usually when you play Mind Control, you can't even play with the minion that you've just controlled. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
How it typically works. It's kind of like it's turned it into a pretty bad Deathwing, where it's like a last resort at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find it being very useful to me in the future. It certainly is fun, but unless you're bored, unless you have really good board presence, which is quite possible with Priest.
Yes, very possible.
I don't really see it coming into use. I think there are better cards to have now, which I don't know is maybe more or less the point with that, with the nerfing to it. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the metagame changes, and someone's going to find some clever use for all of this, for the Unleash the Hounds, and
there's going to be something.
So let's move on to a little thing called Card Conquistador.
Oh God,
it's your favorite.
It is, I guess.
And as usual, that's brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook at audibletrial.com/discussion. Over 100,000 titles to choose from. So, my question to you, Rishard Burrell.
Let's do this.
Is, if you're playing with a Warlock deck, and the opposing player has 5 minions on the board, and they are all 5 health or above, and you happen to have a Dread Infernal, which is a 6/6/6, and that's all you have on the field.
Yeah.
Which card in your Warlock arsenal would allow you to destroy every single one of those cards at the cost of your Dread Infernal? You have 10 seconds.
I don't know the name, but it's the one that deals your target minions damage to everything on the board. I don't know the name.
That is Shadow Flame.
Shadow Flame, that's what it's called.
Yep.
I knew what
Very
card it
valuable.
was. Yeah, I love that card.
It's a 4 mana. It's a Warlock only Shadow Flame spell. Destroys a friendly minion and deals its attack damage to all enemy minions. You don't even have to be able to play that minion. You could hit them in the face if they're playable and then just Shadow Flame, which is ideal. Or if you're like, shoot, I got to clear the board, you throw something beefy down, or maybe not, it doesn't matter. This combo is really well with Flesh Eating Ghoul. You throw a Flesh Eating Ghoul down and then a Shadow Flame a different minion, and all of those minions die, and Flesh Eating Ghoul is just a whopping 7/3 or something. It's incredible. It's great.
It's scary.
Yeah, but good work. Previously, we talked about Jiraxis being a favorable card and how it wins games for Warlocks. It's great. And unfavorable card now is Unleash the Hounds, which is expected, I suppose. There was a video that went up on YouTube recently that's kind of gained some popularity that, of course, Blizzard promoted. And that was an Unleash the Hounds combo that involved... Hold on one second. Let me look it up. It was Unleash the Hounds, where you had a Scavenging Hyena, which was a 2/2/2. Whenever a friendly beast dies, it gains +2 and +1, like 2 attack and 1 health, which is incredible. But you need to have other beasts to do it. So there was a paladin with 5 minions on the board, or full board, and there was a Scavenging Hyena on the player, the hunter's side, and for some reason this thing was allowed to live. I don't know. It's staged, of course. The whole thing was staged. But the Scavenging Hyena was the only minion he had, so he played a Unleash the Hounds. And so he got a full board of 1/1 Hounds with a charge because the opponent had a full board. And so he kills all these Hounds while whittling down all the opponent's minions, and then drops another one and does it again. And meanwhile, this Scavenging Hyena is like getting stronger and stronger. And so eventually all these Hounds, and like I said, it's perfect. It's staged. All the minions die with just the right amount of health. And by the time all the minions are clear and the Scavenging Hyena is just hella jacked, the Paladin has just the perfect amount of health to be totally hit and crit by this Scavenging Hyena. And I'm like, and everyone in the comments is like, yeah, but how often is that ever going to be that perfect?
Exactly. That's never going to happen. I mean, it'll happen, but it'll be like, just from using the flesh-eating ghoul in one of my current like favorite decks, I know that beefing up a card based on other minions dying is just a gamble. Period.
Mm-hmm. You never want to dump too many cards into a minion or beef it up too much when you're much better off beefing up 2 minions. So then they're conflicted to deal with 2, and they have to decide on 1, or at least get some use out of it. Like, you never pump up a minion before you end your turn. Like, oh my god, please don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else do we got here? Let's see. I had some advice. Like, always pick weapons in Arena. Even if you're Shaman, always go for the Warforged or Stormforged axe or whatever it's called. Weapons are so invaluable. They help you trade, except if you're going against a mage, where they want you to trade and they want you to whittle your health down every little bit, because that's what they're going to be doing until you get into the infamous Pyroblast and Fireball range.
Exactly.
Which is a huge conflict with mages right now. Mages are dominating, it seems, especially in ranked play. Everyone's playing mages and everyone's busting face.
It's like, that's a lot of damage they can put out really quick to an enemy champion. So,
and they boast great board control too.
Exactly.
So you can't get anything on the board, and they can keep whittling you down more and more.
And I think that was like the purpose of Mage. They wanted them to be just how they are, and like they wanted them to be synonymous with how the class works in World of Warcraft. Like they're good at keeping things off of themselves while dealing a lot of damage. But it's like having that much control and that much damage in this situation, it can be a pain.
What about like casual play? Have you encountered any other instances with your buddies? You said and they're real casual, but they insist they know what they're doing, especially with their distaste towards that Mogushan Warden.
Yeah.
Is like a 1/7 taunt, which is a great card. If it's a 4/1/7, if you play that on turn 4, I mean, 7 health at any point in the game is a big deal.
It is, yeah. There's 6 mana cards that don't have 7 health. There's a lot of cards that don't have that much health, and the fact that it has a taunt on it is crazy. And if you buff them, I mean, at the same time, you're not using 4 mana technically anymore if you put a buff on him, but at the same time, that health is the reason why he's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the purpose of a taunt is to taunt. It's not to...
Right, you want your taunts to have health.
But
they should be able to trade, but he insists on Booty Bay Warrior or whatever, Booty Bay Bodyguard.
No, the Sinjin Shield Master.
I mean, that's a good card.
Yeah.
It's just not as good of a taunt. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's like apples to oranges.
Mm-hmm.
It's great because it trades well. It doesn't absorb as much as the Mogushan, but the Sinjin Shield Master is like, what, a 4/4/5 or something? 4/5/4? 4/4/5?
It's a 4/3/4.
Oh, right. It's a very, very, very well balanced card.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone uses Sinjin Shield Masters because they are the masters.
And it's like the Mogushan Warden. I've seen it so many times bait a removal, or they either use the removal on the Warden or they use the removal on whatever the Warden's protecting. And usually, whatever they use it on isn't the major threat in the deck. But the Warden forces them to use it early, because if they don't, this flesh-eating ghoul is just getting beefier because I'm just throwing the 1/1 imps at your minions with the imp master that's being protected by the Mogushan Warden. Like, that's what a taunt's for. It's to protect. It's not to deal damage or to trade, even though there's cards like the Shield Master that can, but
protecting your more valuable minions or helping you maintain board control. It's good stuff, though. How do you feel about early access and like beta phases and that kind of thing? Do you think that players being able to play a game before it's officially finished is more positive or negative to its development? Because you know how players can have a say in a beta phase of a game or early access that could inevitably direct the game's direction.
I feel if it's presented the way it should be, it can help it greatly. But like a lot of the games I see on like Steam that are early access, it's like they charge people, like I've seen early access games that are like $40. It's like charging that much for an unfinished product. Like $40 is like a finished product price level, especially for an indie title. And you're charging them $40 for an incomplete product. And it's like, yeah, they may get like extra like skins or something, but it's like, I don't know. A lot of people are like, I'm not paying $40 for an unfinished product. That's like just a lot of people's opinions from my experiences.
Yeah.
And in that regard, it harms the game's success because people see it in early access and they're like, well, they're charging $40 for it, I'm not going to pay that, and then they don't think anything else about the game. Whereas if you were doing early access for maybe $5 or $10, people are more inclined to buy it. And that's what I feel it boils down to, how you present it. And if you let them know that it isn't a finished product, you don't just say it's early access, because some people just assume they're playing the game before it comes out. They're not taking into account that the game is unfinished. But like closed betas and open betas and all that stuff, I think it helps a great deal, because playtesting is a large group of people is invaluable to find issues with a game.
So you're more for it than against it, huh?
Yeah, I'm for it if it's done correctly. If not, then I just think it's a horrible idea and you should just wait and release it normally.
Like microtransactions? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, if it's done correctly, then it's fine. But if not, it's horrible.
Very nice. I agree with you. It can be beneficial or detrimental, but for the most part, I think they're there for a reason. And that's enough of that. That settles that. So, do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up shop? Have you noticed the pretty new artwork all over generally?
And the new animations, the sounds, and a lot more animation on the golden cards. Apparently, all of them are animated now. I didn't really notice any that weren't before, but
I've noticed in the main menu,
3 or 4 golden cards,
where the board is before you open it up.
So that's nice.
The play practice,
but I don't know if
you there? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm here.
We're lagging.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Yep.
Okay, I think it's fixing itself.
You think so?
Yeah, the audio quality just increased again.
Okay. Well, I noticed in the main menu the play practice and the arena options, and there's a fourth space down there at the bottom where I think we can expect something in the future to occupy.
I wonder what that'll be.
Yeah, that'll be craft a card.
I hope if it is, it brings back that old feeling of create a character and old like PS1 games.
There you go.
Just boost all the stats to maximum and make this godlike card that nobody can ever hope to defeat.
It only ever goes against other godlike cards.
Yeah, you can only play it. Like, that'd be fun, I guess. You can only play it against other custom decks or only your friends or something. That'd be funny. Just to see the crazy stuff that people could create.
Right. What if they introduced something like reforging in World of Warcraft, where you could modify a card's stats within certain parameters?
Oh.
And they had parameters for certain cards.
Yeah.
And they could never go above a certain amount or below a certain amount. But depending on the whole point would be, depending on the type of deck you're playing, like if you're playing an aggro deck, you could modify this card to better suit that playstyle. And therefore it could be a tool, not an overpowered tool or an underpowered tool. It would be more inclined to be underpowered. But not an overly powerful tool, but a tool nonetheless that would help augment your playstyle and enable you to play that particular way.
Yeah.
So therefore it would be more like players going against other players, not boasting card choice, but rather playstyles versus other playstyles.
Yeah. I like that idea, actually, because it's kind of like talent specs for this playstyle, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I play this style, so I'm gonna put a couple more points of health on this card because it's like maybe give the ability to put one more health on the Amani Berserker, make him easier to enrage with, or make him take more damage because he's 2 mana, but the other 2 mana cards can usually knock him out in one hit or whatever. Just small changes like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that would create a lot of potential balance issues because somebody somewhere, there's always those people that are like, well, let's do the super duper math and find out the most broken thing possible we can create with this new tool.
Yep.
And
They're gonna game the system.
I'm not sure Blizzard is happy with the concept of reforging because they're removing it in Warlords of Draenor. So
that's true. So we can never hope to expect that. This is all just hypothetical discussion. A casual Hearthstone podcast. Well, you about ready to wrap this up?
Yep, that's it for me, I think.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you Sunday.